What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Let's Talk Jets Radio. And this is the try out the software edition of the show because I'm trying to get new things here. One of the challenges we have is that Blog Talk Radio is we had to call in through our cell phones for a long time. But right now, with the pandemic and everything else, our cell phone coverage in New Jersey is just shitty. So it's very hard to get a good signal, very hard to get good things in. So we don't want to provide, a show with lousy quality, or somebody calls in, you can't really hear anything. So we're trying to work on different things. So what I'm going to do is my good friend Tyrone has helped me out while I'm trying to work out all these kinks. So, Tyrone, what's up, man?
What's going on, Tyson? Always a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure, bro. Anything I can do to help the show get better, bro, I'm always here for you. You already know that.
Yeah, you know what it is, though, dude? Like I said, we were talking about this before. It's just like right now, like sound quality, everybody expects like really good sound quality. But when you do a live call-in show, it's very, very difficult because – it's just there's only like two platforms you can actually do this. It's Blog Talk and another one. And the other one, they give you like a conference call number and all this other shit. And I'm like, dude, you want the same number every week? So now we're trying this. And it's like, so we had some issues tonight. So I appreciate you helping me, man. Because this could drive me crazy, man.
I'm being honest. Right now, Tyson, you sound the best I've heard you ever, bro. You sound amazing on the other end, bro. It sounds really good on my end. So, whatever
the weird thing
working
is,
out, bro.
The thing is, we did the fan series interviews. We did them like this way, and they all came out clear. Now everybody's like, "Oh, the show should always sound like this." I'm like, "Yeah, no shit. That's the goal." But it's like, the thing is too. It's like we have to like a lot of these services, like a lot of these podcasts, like a lot of the advertising's been pulled back because they charge you for a lot of service and all that stuff. And I'm like, we don't have like no sponsors or anything like that. So I'm like, now it's like, they initially wanted like $250 a month, and I'm like, are you out of your mind? I'm like, dude, we're a fan podcast. Like, we just talk football and yeah, we're not doing that. So. But Tyrone, first of all, how are you and your family doing, man?
Man, everybody's doing good, man. Everybody's doing good. My son graduates Saturday. I'm kind of frustrated though, man, because like everybody in the family wants to go. We only can have 5 people in the car, and he has to be in the car, so basically 4 people. So it's basically just gonna be me, his mother, her mother, and my mother. So after that, we're going to take pictures and stuff like that. But, it's a little frustrating, but, it is what it is. And him deciding on what he wants to do. Like, the biggest thing is, like, a lot of these colleges they've been applying to, they got accepted to, they're not giving us any information. So it's like, kind of in limbo right now, trying to figure out what he's going to do and what he wants to do. And I keep hearing this year off. And it's like, nah, buddy, you're not getting no year off, man. Yep. So other than that, man, everybody's good. How's your family, man?
Well, first of all, congratulations to your son, man. And it's interesting because what they did in New Jersey was they announced, like, they're going to do some kind of graduation ceremony in, like, July. Like, they've delayed it a while so they can have some kind of outside ceremony with, say, 300 or 400 people, whatever else. So they try to, it's not ideal, but at least trying to do something more than just, what you guys do. That's kind of interesting. It's like that.
Well, I appreciate them doing something because at first they wasn't doing anything. But just not to, because we're going to have to sit in the car regardless anyway. So I was like, they're using Busch Gardens parking lot. Busch Gardens parking lot is massive. So I figured, I didn't think it would be an issue with them having other cars. Most people stay in their cars, but that is very strict rules. You can't even get in. He has to be in the car with us. He has to have his cap and gown on. And then this is the funniest part. They're not even doing it alphabetical order. They're doing it by when you get there. That's just
no way.
Yeah, no, I'm not playing, bro. So I guess you're going to walk through the car. What's your last name? What's your first and last name? Okay, he's up next. I mean, but it's a blessing, and I'm happy. I'm not going to complain. So. No,
congratulations, man. It's like right now, like, like I said, I'm in New Jersey, and the governor, he announces new things every day, and it's like now it's like a maze. You can't even decipher half of it. It's like, well, now we can have outside gatherings for 50 people, but it's 100 people if you want to go to church, and this and that too. It's like, what in the living hell, man? It's just like you can't even figure out if you're breaking the law or not anymore. You don't know what's going on if you're going. It's just this world is crazy right now.
Well, you know what's so crazy here is, like you said, a lot of restaurants, everyone is sitting up outside. And the bad part is, man, and I really feel bad, so many restaurants in this area is not going to open back up. It's just really, it's really frustrating, man, watching these small businesses and people lose everything they work for, man. It's really frustrating. And it's just like a friend of mine, he's the manager at Chili's, And they shipped him up to Richmond. He was like, "Yo, bro, they probably won't open the one back up here." I was like, "Wow, that's a major franchise. It's probably not gonna be opening. A lot of mom and pop places that you go in, just to go out, when you just stepping out, have a drink, get something chill to eat, aren't gonna open back up. The doors are closed forever. So, I mean, it's this is something we've never seen in the world before. And if there was ever a year you want to hit a reset button too, man, 2020 will be it, bro. I'm telling you."
You ain't kidding. And it's funny because I live at the Jersey Shore, and my area is, we are all about the summertime and, all the restaurants, the bars, the nightclubs, the tourism. This is what keeps this area alive. And every day counts, and they've lost Memorial Day weekend already, and not to mention the months before that. And now we're going into, another week, and the weather's been gorgeous all week. And it's like you said, all these small businesses, man, are just dying. And it's like, then you have, the governor's like, oh, they can open up on Monday, like a week from this past Monday. I'm like, dude, why not Friday? And give them the friggin' weekend of nice weather to make money. Like, and the thing is, like you said, like I have, like a lot of my friends are, they own their own businesses, and dude, they can't justify opening back up. They just say, like, listen, we lost so much money, and when they open the doors and you can't get back in, the business that you expect. Say if you're a bar and you're used to having, say, 3,000 people a night, and you're only gonna have 500, dude. Like it's just it's
impossible.
It's the aftermath of this is so debilitating, and like you feel for them, man. Like, and I'm sure everybody sees this all over the news and like that, but I just see it locally here. Like our area is mostly tourism for the most part. How all this area stays awake, not awake, alive with their business, like the beaches and stuff. Dude, it's crazy, man. It is real. It's scary. It's scary to see what's gonna happen.
And the worst part about, I say the worst part, the funny part about it also, what I'm saying, around here is, they're giving out, like, everyone's on unemployment, right? So they're giving them an extra $600 a week on unemployment. Like, you're giving these people more money than they made when they actually work. So they're not going back to, he just came out and said something not too long ago. People don't want to go back to work. Bro, why would they? If you only made $1,200 for the month, and you're giving them $2,400, why would they go back to work? I mean, it makes no logical sense. So, I mean, it's really crazy, bro. It's crazy time, bro.
Well, it's funny because now, like, I've been working from home for the last couple of months. Like, we have to go in like one day a week because we're essential, we're manufacturing. And now we all have to go back in next week. And everybody's like, oh, man, this is rough. I'm like, dude, we're working. Like, how in the hell are you complaining? Like, it's like you're seriously complaining. Like, first of all, I'm happy to get out of the friggin' house because I've been so tired of, like, you just want to get out of the house. But I'm like, dude, now you're complaining about working? Like, what? Like, it's just like this life is exhausting. Like you said, man, there's a reset button for everything we're dealing with right now. Like, just reset everything. Like, I'm ready to it's just, woof. It is crazy out there.
It's the other thing we gotta look forward to, man, is football, man. Like, I'm telling you, there was no football this year, bro. I'm telling you, I'd have lost my mind, bro. I'd have lost it, bro. I'm just like, it's just, it's something to look forward to keep your mind off what it is. But how is the season gonna go? Like, you're gonna have half the stands full, or you're not gonna have fans at all. I mean, this is gonna be weird, bro. It's gonna be weird. And, it's the funny. What?
Good. No, good.
I said, this year right here is going to be, this will be the year that we'll win the Super Bowl. You know that, right? This will be the one year that we'll win.
Well, we can't go to it.
Yeah, exactly, bro. It'll be that type of situation for us just because we've suffered for so long. This will happen, you know what I'm saying? So, but I'm excited, man. I'm excited what I'm seeing from Joe D. I'm definitely excited what Sam's about to do next week, bringing the guys down to Miami, getting these guys together, and watching this kid work, man. Like, I'm telling you, man, like, it reminds me of the Sanchez Rex baby, 2008. We about to make that run, baby. Yes, sir. Yeah, absolutely, baby. I'm telling you, it's that season. So.
But you know what's funny though? Like, I mean, like right now it's such a dead time of year, man. Like, I give credit to the podcasts that are cranking out like information because there's not really a lot to talk about. Like, they're like talking film and analyzing stats and plays of last year, and I just can't. Dude, I just don't care about it. I have no desire to talk about it. But then it's like Sam Darnold's out in the field with it, like throwing passes, and now we're analyzing him in an 8-second clip. Like, oh, dude, he's ready. He is so much better than last year. Like, off an 8-second clip. Like, we're to that point now where it's like, oh, dude, this is a breakout year. I just saw what he did.
I went down my Twitter timeline, bro, and I think people shared that Sam Darnold clip. I think about 30 to 40 times. Did I have to like each one of them? You know what I'm saying? And then the funny part, you have one where you have him and then Kyle. Then someone just cut Kyle off, and you just have Sam. So it's straight 8 seconds. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Everybody's all excited, right? It's crazy, man. But this is the time that we'll be resting right before training camp. Or we would have OTAs. You guys
mini camp.
You know what I'm saying? Mini camp. We'd have more insight to talk about. Nobody's getting picked up. Nobody's getting signed. So it's basically like, the biggest thing was Dalvin Cook is holding out. Like, bro, like that's all over the news, man. So it's crazy. I give those guys credit though, because they've been really trying to make stories out of nothing, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I just can't get into it, man. Like, I'm ready for like usually this time of year, like you said, is we're talking about mini camp, we're talking about some OTAs. There's news that players do interviews. Like, you get something to talk about, and now it's like there's really nothing to talk about other than like Jamal Adams' contract, which is going to really heat up once this team gets back to. Once the training camp comes, that's going to really heat up. There's no doubt about that. And then it's just, to me, the wide receiver position, which we talked about in the past, but to me, it's like, I'm really glad Sam Darnold's doing what he's doing. Get the offense together, work out, get used to Mims, get used to Perriman, do what you can. But to me, the bigger story out of all this, Tyrone, is getting the offensive linemen in somewhere. Get those guys somewhere and get those guys together, because you know what? It's easier to get. You can get used at Perriman, but you pretty much got to get 4 offensive linemen. There's a good chance you have 4 new starters on offensive line. Dude, if you can get them in a warehouse somewhere or a gym for the next month, do it, right? Like, that's my concern.
Absolutely, because they need some continuity coming out. That's why teams that are already solidified, already have everything in order, are gonna come together a lot faster than teams that don't.
Yep.
I do think the biggest thing is, I think the biggest thing for us is Sam is really going to be, I think he's going to really be good this year. And I think that Le'Veon will definitely be better. I think somebody, man, to watch out for, man. And I'm going to say it right now. I saw a clip of him about a couple days ago. Vincent Smith. I'm really thinking this kid is just going to pull that Robbie role, man, and really surprise us, man. And Vincent Jackson. He's going to really make a really major impact this year. So I'm looking forward to that, man. I'm looking forward to see what this kid can do, given the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Here we go.
Did you just do a Vincent Smith? Now you're getting. Oh.
Hey, listen,
why don't you put Braxton Berrios in there too, man, and Josh Doxson? Listen,
Hey, what? Listen, okay, I'll give you. Okay, think about Josh Dobson, right? Check it. What is the kid name from Miami? Was it Peterson? Peterman? Whatever his name is, the receiver from Miami. He sucked for 3 or 4 years, and last year he had a breakout year. He's got a big contract. What if Dobson does the same thing? What if this kid just needs to be with the right kind of receivers coach or in the right environment at the right time, and it just clicks? You know what I'm saying? Players grow, man. Players need time to develop, especially when you're coming from school where they don't have NFL-type offensive, NFL routes and stuff like that. So what if this kid end up becoming a real number 1, bro? What if he plays like a number one?
Now oh, my goodness.
No, I'm just listening. He was drafted as a number 1. So what if he starts to play like that? I'm not, bro, if he plays like a number 4, I'm happy. I'm just saying, but what if the kid actually gives us something? So, I'm not mad at Joe Douglas for kicking the tires on this kid, man. You always want to.
Oh, no, dude, I'm not mad at him. But, I mean, let's be honest. But I'm not mad at him until, August 1st if he doesn't bring somebody else in. When there's some cuts coming out like that, I'm begging he brings somebody else in here, a proven wide receiver that has some talent, man. There's still some guys out there, but I'd still bring in more guys. Like the way he approached the offensive line with signing all kinds of guys and having depth, I'm legitimately concerned about the depth of the wide receiver position. And listen, you could sell me on Berrios, you could sell me on Vincent Smith and Lawrence Cager and everybody else. Listen, I'd rather go with more known commodities and just see what happens.
Well, my biggest thing is this. I want a pass rusher, man. He has to sign a pass rusher.
Me too.
He definitely has.
Golden, dude. Marcus Golden.
For $6 million, bro. You can have Marcus Golden for $6 million.
Yep.
I think Giants' contract is anything over $5 million. $6 million, you get this guy. You give this guy a $2 million contract, give him a $4 million signing bonus. Doesn't hurt the cap. Give this kid a contract, man. Why is that not happening already? I mean, the Clowney thing. It's just him. I get tired, and I know we had this on the show many times before. I get tired of guys like him using us as bait. You know what I'm saying? As clickbait or to get your price up. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting $15 million. You're not getting $12 million. You'll probably be lucky to get $11 million. So be happy with that. No one's going to give you the kind of money you have because you haven't produced. You had 3 sacks last year. So give me a guy with Greg Williams. No.
Do you think now? This is the only thing I'm wondering about is do you think teams are waiting until they can actually get these guys like a Marcus Golden in the facility and do a physical and talk to them? Because you think about it, before this, you couldn't go to facilities, you really couldn't do anything. So you had to kind of do things over the phone and figure it out. Do you think teams, because the Jets have cap space, do you think they're waiting now to say, you know what, we'll wait another week or 10 days to actually meet with this guy and talk to him and see where his mind is? Or Clowney especially, see if he can pass a freaking physical and see what, see where he's at.
Me personally, I think Golden will help us out more than Clowney would. I don't want
Clowney at all.
I don't. I just think he doesn't fit what we're trying to do. But I can see Golden with the Greg Williams and Greg Williams defense. I mean, I don't know if you listen to CJ's show. I listened to it this morning, actually. Big out to CJ, too, man. That show he gave last night, he broke down the potential starters for offense and defense, right? And, it's going to be some holes on defense that we're still missing. You know what I'm saying? And there's an article put out, and every once in a while, bless Austin. And I'm sorry, man. I don't think he's ready. To me, the two things we're lacking right now is outside pass rusher and another cornerback. Those would be the two things I would like for them to bring in. You know what I'm saying? I think that right there will solidify our defense to make us, a better team. But having a coach like him, able to adapt, able to make something out of nothing, man, I'm really excited about what he could do. But it's still going to be, we still need more. I mean, we're still missing things. We have money.
Sweet.
But I don't know.
But I kind of disagree with you here because, I'm the corner position, I think is better than last year just based on what they got rid of and what they brought in. There's a lot more depth. You have a guy like Bryce Hall. If we can get him healthy, he'll be interesting. Pierre Desir, you got Millette, you got Bless Austin. They have a lot of competition there, man. So are you saying, hey, you know what? Go get Logan Ryan? I mean, where do you want to help at corner?
I would definitely love to have Logan Ryan, and I'm definitely Lamar Jackson, Bryce Hall. These guys are going to be great players for us in time. I think with Bryce Hall, I mean he's a steal of the draft, and I'm going to say that right now, and I've been saying that. But the problem is, man, with no OTAs, no mini camps, none of this, no rookie mini camp. These guys haven't played in the NFL, so it's going to take him a while to get acclimated to what's going on in this league. It's a different kind of level you're playing against grown men.
But Tyrone, I think they're going to listen. I have a lot of concerns about the lack of practice time, but I think the NFL is going to realize that and say, listen, we're in the beginning of June and opening up the facilities. They may give more allowance to saying, hey, you know what? Usually training camp's not the last week of July. They may say, hey, you know what, the first week of July you can have guys come in. I think they're going to kind of ramp up the learning curve for some of these guys and try to make allowances for that because they're going to have to. I mean, or you're going to have some real shitty football once the season starts because half these teams are going to look like they're just, they're JV teams. I think they're going to have that. But,
absolutely.
But I think, the corners, listen, I understand what you're saying, but I think the corner position, are you willing to play this Logan Ryan game where he's trying to use everybody against everybody else for leverage? Or would you say, hey, you know what, take that money, give it to Marcus Golden, and maybe invest in a wide receiver, or maybe see, other spots that you can maybe address. Or would you say, hey, you know what? I'll go after Warford or go after a lineman, or could that money be better spent to give it to Logan Ryan?
Well, I think basically, man, we can manipulate the cap however we want to. I think we definitely bring a pass rusher in. I like Logan Ryan. I just do. I think that having him come in with the Shearer on the other side, corner? No, he can play outside though. You know what I'm saying? Especially in our scheme. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I think this year right here we're gonna play a lot of nickel, a lot of big nickel. I think what Greg's gonna do. I think because we have the kind of linebackers that are interchangeable, so I think we'll be able to have marked our fronts. You know what I'm saying? So he'll be able to get. And I think what he's gonna do is the kid that we just drafted, if we can get him up to speed, have him in on nickel and let Adams just go nuts at the lines. Let him just roam around and just create havoc. You know what I'm saying? So, not having a typical pass rusher or prototypical pass rusher is something that, so we haven't had in so long. But actually, if we're having a guy like Jamal, you have a guy that's interchangeable anywhere on the field that can really create havoc.
Man, he's just a safety. Isn't that what everybody keeps telling me? He's just a safety.
Hey,
that's
man.
all I keep hearing.
You know what the point of the matter is people don't understand this, bro. They're so big on just, and it's talking points, man. And, it's such a crock when people give you these talking points. Oh, he's not an essential player. Let me tell you something. A guy like Jamal Adams is a once-in-a-lifetime type player. You know this, Tyson. You've been watching football as long as I have. You know these kind of players don't come around. And you know damn well the Jets don't get players like this. So letting a guy like this, I don't care what he wants or what he needs. This is the kind of kid that you need. Now, don't get me wrong. he would not get a contract this season. He wouldn't. He would not. I'm sorry. You set the wrong precedent giving him a contract this season. But I say, look, Jamal, he's not going to set out. The kid loves football. So he might gripe and bitch and moan, but listen, bro, you have 3 years left, bro. Chill out. But we got you. End of the year, we got you. No problem. And I think that's what has to be done because he has to understand, man, the team is getting better. You know what I'm saying? And bringing in Wilford, I don't know why they haven't brought in Wilford. I think maybe Wilford doesn't match up to what they want to do because to me, that's a no-brainer. And you can get it for like $7 million. So,
well, see, supposedly he doesn't match the style of offensive lineman they like. They like the more athletic, versatile guys where he's more of like
exactly.
That's the only thing that could explain it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's the reason why he's not bought in. But Tyson also, I think when you're saying receiver and everything else, I think a lot of good guys are going to get cut, and we're going to be able to.
Yeah, but hold on, Tyrone, but hold on. Going back to Jamal for a second, and this is something that I keep talking about, and that like you see some of the talking points about Jamal, and I'm like, dude, this is such a crock of shit because look at the player, look who he is, and he played without C.J. Mosley in front of him. Could you imagine him with C.J. Mosley in front of him? Taking up blockers or doing things, and then letting him fly around doing whatever the hell he wants, he'll have more sacks than last year. Like he'll be a legit threat.
And then on top of that, you forgetting about Avery Williams. Then bring Avery back.
Oh, see, I would cut it. Yeah, I'd take that cap money and give it to Marcus Golden. Dude, they got like 14 mid-sized linebackers. How many do you need?
Bro, not 14. We got like 400, bro. Like that is a crazy number right now.
Listen, and before, like, I know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna get ripped for this. Listen, I like Avery Williamson as a player. He's a very good player. He's not a Pro Bowl level player. He's a good player. But you got Burgess, you got Hewitt, you got the guy from Baltimore. What the hell they call him, Peanut? They got a lot of inside linebackers, dude. And that $6 million that you can save for Avery Williamson can go to that receiver you want, that corner you want, the outside, the pass rusher. They're going to keep Brian Winters, which is surprising. You can get I don't know, man. But just saying that, even to just say if you keep Avery Williamson, look at what's in front of Jamal now. Then you add those two, and like, dude, he could be such a threat. You know, attacking the line of scrimmage, attacking the quarterback, doing all kinds of stuff. Like he'll be such a threat in Greg Williams' defense. It's insane. So I don't. That whole Justice Safety thing drives me crazy. I hate that. And then the other thing too is, I keep kind of like, to me, he's like a hybrid linebacker, especially if Ashton Davis can play. If that kid can actually play a good safety with him and May back there, that they both have range, can cover, Jamal Adams can do whatever he wants, dude. He could be a linebacker, a defensive end, he can be a safety. You can put him wherever you want.
And that's what I'm hoping. That's why I'm hoping is what they want to do. And also, I'm gonna say this right here, man. It doesn't matter if you pick up a guy, you know, if you have a guy like Golden on the team, or you know, we can really basically do what we want. My problem is this. Brian Winters, bro, why hasn't he been cut? I've been harping on this, man. He is awful. I understand he played with injuries, but when he wasn't hurt, he sucked. Man, you know how many games I've watched Brian Winters get just manhandled, bull rush thrown down? And I don't know if you watched it, man, but it was a couple of clips on Twitter. When I'll tell you the game, I remember it was the Cleveland game when Le'Veon caught a pass and they thought they tackled him. Remember he broke loose. If you watch Khalil and Winters miss two wide open blocks, bro, and I watched Beachum just grab people, man. I've been watching clips of our offensive line, and I'm gonna be dead honest with you, bro. That was the worst offensive line in the NFL last year.
Tyrone, listen. But here's my question. And listen. I'm somewhat of a Brian Winters defender because I think he was his own biggest enemy by trying to play through injuries instead of just sitting out. So I think that's kind of it. But my bigger question is, the Jets had talent. The offensive line the year before was actually worse than what they had in terms of talent. They actually played better. To me, I will, and this is going to start a whole other argument, but I continue to wonder what in the living hell the offensive line coach did and what the hell Adam Gase did to help the offensive line, because to me it wasn't talent. It was line calls. It was schemes where they didn't know where the freaking blitz is coming from, and these are veteran guys, dude. Like Brian Winters, you see, like him, Khalil, Beachum. These aren't like rookies. They've seen a lot of this before. Even when Alex Lewis came, he looked like what the hell? Like all look lost. So how much of this goes onto the coaching? Like how much the scheme and what they're going to do?
I mean, some of it does fall in the coaching, and that's truly understandable when you don't adjust. And that was the problem with Gase last year.
And they freaking adjustments.
But to me, it was two things that really got me last year. But watching those clips, man, really showed something to me. Man, Tyson, these guys missed a lot of fucking assignments, bro. They missed a lot of assignments. I mean, just in a wide open, missing guys, flat out missing guys, missing blocks. That's so dangerous in this game. Also, I think that having a coach that doesn't adjust, that doesn't put a chipper or a chip block on a guy that's getting killed. When Beecham was getting murdered by Myles Garrett, dog, you don't put nobody over there to help, bro. That just don't make any sense. Those are things that we had last year. We also had, we didn't have any kind of trying to run the football. Only time we tried to run the football is when Sam was hurt, and everyone knew we were running the football. It was just difficult to watch, so any improvement this year is going to be a bonus. And, like I said, I think we're in a better situation than we were last year. But I think we have a better quarterback than last year. I watched some tape where Sam, was holding the ball too long. That factors in. But when we had those really, really bad offensive line games, that was not only on the line, that was the quarterback play. These guys were holding the ball way too long. Way too long. And a lot of that caused a problem. A lot of Gase plays were long, double-move plays. You can't do that when your offensive line sucks. It's just bad for business.
Yeah, or like having nobody can block. They have empty backfield sets. Like, dude, what are you doing? Like, it's like, and the thing that the thing that my biggest concern going into this season is you got to kind of wipe out Sam Darnold's memory a little bit in terms of all those bad plays, the lack of coverage he had, like the lack of protection he had, all these stuff, because you want to see better poise in the pocket. Like, you want to see him, like, stand up, face the pass rush, step in, make big-time throws, roll him out of the pocket, which they should did last year, which they didn't, which drove me insane. But also, you want to see coaching where they adjust. Like, listen, what teams are going to do this year is they're probably not scared of Perriman. They're probably not scared of Denzel Mims. They're probably not scared of Crowder until you prove it. So they're going to stack the box and say, Sam, we're going to stop the run, and we're going to come after you. And you got to prove to us that you can beat us with your arm and your head. And if he's struggling, it's up to Adam Gase to adjust his fucking offense. Like, if your plays aren't working, go two-back set, smash mouth football, change shit up. Like, right now, the NFL, you got to change on the fly, man. You look at Kyle Shanahan, all the other coaches that are successful, Sean you recognize, listen, you got to change it. This isn't working. Where Adam Gase gets kind of stubborn and arrogant, who's with Sam Darnold. So now you got to hope that he learns some things. He learned how to read defenses, but he also learned to say, this play is not going to work. I'm not going to use this play or demand change. Like, listen, this scheme isn't working right now. Mid-game.
But if you notice, Tyson, I know you heard this as many times last year as I did. And if you watch you watched every game like I did. Okay, Gase's scripted plays, his first 15 plays, are amazing. You know what I'm saying? It seems like after that he gets lost. I think he overthinks stuff and he doesn't keep it simple. I think also he's giving Sam the ability to call his own plays or call adjustment to plays. And I think Sam will grow with that. I just think that, this year right here will be a lot easier, especially having Herndon in the middle of the field, another safety blanket. Having that up the scene.
It's not going to be necessarily easier because you're going to have 4 new linemen and 2 new receivers. That's not exactly continuity for young. That's called shaking his world upside down again. That's the problem.
But you're giving them better quality receivers than we had last year too. Only receiver we had last year was Robbie, and Robbie. Robbie. Don't get me wrong. Robbie was a decent receiver.
Yeah, but what do you expect from Mims this year? You're going to expect, 35, 40 catches from Mims, right? You can't really expect more than that from a rookie, man.
Yeah, I think Mims will give us a little bit less than what Robbie gave us.
Then what do you expect out of Perriman?
Okay, Tyson. I think Perriman will give us about 50 catches.
All right. Then I'll give you my X factor. I think my X factor out of all this is going to be none of them. It's going to be Chris Herndon. That's going to be, if he could stay healthy, that's going to be Sam's go-to guy. That's why I put my offense around him, to be honest with you, because I don't think the receivers other than Crowder are reliable enough. You can't really count on this early. Yeah. Like, Mims could be a super talent. It's going to take time to get adjusted. Perriman, I don't know, man. Who knows? Well, so then maybe feature Herndon more and Griffin.
Well, I'll tell you this right here also, man. Crowder had, 74 catches last year?
Probably like in 3 games.
Exactly. So, you know what I'm saying? So Crowder will definitely be there. Another lifeline. You know what I'm saying? Using Le'Veon would be better. I mean, the biggest issue last year, man, I just think his ego was in the way. You didn't use guys like you should have. But I think Crowder will be okay. I think Herndon and Griffin coming back will definitely be a large part of what Sam has in front of him. But I also think it's the growth of Sam as well. I think you have to run the football. I mean, I've been saying this for years, man. Listen, Buffalo went. The reason Buffalo got so good last year, Buffalo already had a decent defense. But when they fix their offensive line, they can run the ball better because they don't have really a quarterback. Their quarterback sucks. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, and I got into it with a Miami fan. And he was like, yeah, man, Tom's gone now, so, you know, it's either going to be Buffalo, it's going to be New England, and it's going to be us or you guys. And I was like, bro, I said, well, who's the best quarterback in the AFC East? He was like, well, man, I'm going to say Tua. I said, you know what, man, look, I'm going to end this conversation. Your brother. Tua. So I said to him this. I said, bro, Sam Darnold's the best quarterback in the division. I'm not saying it because he's my quarterback. That's just facts. I said, Josh Allen is inaccurate. You know what I'm saying? He's more of a wildcat quarterback. I mean, Tua hasn't played in the NFL. He probably won't play for a while. And, you know, we don't know what we have in New England. I said, well, listen, man, I said, it's going to break down like this. You can't count out New England because they're well coached and they got a good defense. Buffalo, I don't know what Buffalo's going to do, but to me, we had Buffalo beat the first game. I thought we were better. I thought we were a better team than what we actually were last year. You know, but we had an easier schedule. But at the end of the day, when you get the guy like Mosley back, that's the leader of your defense. You're going to solidify your cornerbacks.
Yeah, but here's a question. Here's a question for you. There's 4 coaches in the Jets could have the best quarterback in the division. Then it goes to who's the head coaches. Where do you rank Adam Gase and the 4 head coaches in the AFC East?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I rank him number 4.
So do I.
I mean, that's just the truth. I mean, Belichick's number 1. Kid from Buffalo is number 2. Kid from Miami is number 3, and then you have. I mean, that's just what that is. That's the truth. The defensive coordinators, I say we're number 2. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying that. That's the
problem.
Right,
that to me is the problem.
Yep,
that's the X factor of all of this. Like we talked about it earlier. Like, all right, you have a lot of change on the offense. You have the receiver, you have 2 new receivers, you have a whole new offensive line. You want to see Sam play better. The defense, I think Greg Williams will find ways to get things done. But to me, the X factor is the coaching now. Now it's like, all right, if you say all teams are equal, or we have a little bit of advantage with Sam, does their coaching and their preparation and whatever else they do offset Sam? Yep. And that very well could, man. That could be the X factor.
You know what, Tyson? I mean, I'm gonna have to be honest, bro. That was a fire ass take, bro. There's no other way around that. I mean, I think that the funny part about it is, in Gase's career, what has he done to prove to you that he's a good coach? I'm being honest, man, and I know that we're supposed to give him a chance because he's our coach, but I'm telling you, what has he done to make me believe that he can take this team to the next level? I haven't.
They went 6-2 in the last 8 games.
Yeah, what a bum ass schedule. What a bum ass schedule, bro.
Dude, I'll never understand. Listen, I'll never understand. Like, I try to, like, right now on social media, try to, like, stay out of things. Like, football news is a waste of time. It's not really talking about. But then, like, a couple of weeks ago, there was a whole, like, pressure on Sam Darnold thing, all this shit. And I'm like, dude, like, if I'm a legitimate beat writer that's not getting paid off by the Jets and get fed my stories by the Jets, my article every week would be the pressure is on Adam Gase to prove that he is worthy of being the head coach of the New York Jets. He has to prove to everybody that he can establish a winning team, a winning culture, and actually win. Like Brian Costello just last week wrote an article being like, Jets fans should lower their expectations. Why? Fuck that.
Why?
Why are we lowering our expectations for? Like, dude, like, Tyrone, I'm so tired of it. Like, to me, every article, this team, Sam has to prove himself, but he's 23 years old, wherever he is. He's so young, dude. He has a lot to prove and get better, but year by year he's going to improve. You know, it's proven. But you're a head coach who you brought here as an experienced head coach who knows the AFC East and supposed to be good with offense. This is it. This is his make or break year. He has to prove to everybody, the ownership, the general manager, everybody, that he is capable of turning this shit around. And not be happy when you beat a second string friggin' Buffalo Bills team. Like, have higher standards, have higher expectations. Like, somebody in this goddamn organization has got to say, you know what? We expect 8 or 9 wins this year. We expect to play meaningful games in December. Stop with this. Stop with the goddamn excuses.
Well, Tyson, I'll give you this right here. Let me ask you a question. How many games did we get out coached? And I'm gonna give you 2 off the rip that we got out coached. Miami, Cincinnati. We got out coached.
Cincinnati.
And those are teams that weren't good football teams, and we got out coached. But then you watch games like Dallas, where he actually coached well. And and to me, if you really want to see what Sam can be, look at that Dallas game. I just feel that.
No, listen. But that's with Sam. You're right. But see, to me, it was like when everybody gave up on this team, they started winning. They surprised us. We bought back in a little bit. We win the Cincinnati game. We got some shit going here. Now it's like we could, and when the going got tough, they fell flat in their faces. And it's like, all right, what are they? They won when the games weren't important, but when the games got important, they didn't perform that well. It's like it was a roller coaster ride, but everybody's like, well, it's his first year at the Jets. Okay, we'll give you that. New system, new offense, a shit ton of injuries. God knows why that happened. But okay, now so then going into this year, Tyrone, like all these excuses have to go away at some point. Like I don't want to be going into next year with this team saying, I wonder about this, I wonder about that. At some point, we got to answer questions. That's what your head coach is supposed to be doing. Like you need to know what you have, when you have, like you know what I mean? Like I hate every year having these same questions. It drives me insane.
There's no scenario where I feel like he's going to outcoach a really good coach, and that's what scares me the most.
Not for 4 quarters.
It scares me. It scares me that if they would have hired him as an offensive coordinator and hired a real coach, it probably would have worked out a lot better than what it does having him as head coach. I think the fact that he didn't win anything in Miami, and he really hasn't done anything but Coach Peyton Manning.
But here's the question though, and then the argument is, listen, I think Greg Williams and his defense, they can find ways to win games for us. I will give them that. But here's the situation. Now I think Adam Gase's excuse, which I already have him back in my head. He's coming back next year. I'm just trying to ignore it because I think he has some built-in excuses where he can say, listen, my offense needs playmakers. We still don't have the guys we need. So he say you could have Mims for a year. You have Mims this year. They're get rid of Le'Veon Bell next year. So he may say, listen, I still need my playmakers. I still need my guys. And that excuse is going to drive me crazy because they had a chance to get that in the draft. You could have drafted 2 receivers. You could have signed somebody else. Like, that's my concern. Like, I'm trying to eliminate all excuses right now.
I don't think so, Tyson. I think if he doesn't win this year, he's out of here. I think Joe Douglas has $130 million next year in cap space. I think also, Tyson, if they hire the right coach, I don't think Le'Veon is going anywhere. I think that, listen, this is what gets me, bothering me more than anything in the world. And you can say I'm crazy, you can say I'm nuts, I'm just a Jet fan, whatever. It's impossible not to be able to use Le'Veon Bell. I'm sorry. He hasn't lost a beat. He hasn't lost a step. He's a great teammate. He is an excellent running back. He is probably the best wide receiver we had on our team last year. And you're telling me you can't find a way to use this man. Like, that right there, that's incompetence. That's not like,
dude, you want to see incompetence. I'll tell you, now, we're going to get ripped, man, because it's like, you guys are bashing Gase again. I'll tell you incompetence, because this is the kind of mood I'm in. It's like, well, first of all, this year you could run Bell behind Becton, and people get yards left and right. You sit here today, I'm scrolling through Twitter, but let me just go mind my own business, and I see Ty Montgomery working out and doing all these drills, looking great.
Bro,
and
I
it
see
drives
that,
me
bro.
absolutely crazy.
Yo,
I'm like, we had this fucking guy on the team. We had him on the team, dude. You used him in every way possible in the preseason. The bright lights come on, off to the bench he goes. You don't see him. And when he did make a play, got called back because of a freaking penalty. But dude, you have him. There's reminders of things you see, and you're like, what were we doing last year? You had Powell, you had Montgomery, you had all these opportunities. You misused Bell, and it's just all this gets settled into well, the Jets had too many injuries. They had too many injuries, and the injury excuse kind of covers all the mistakes that were actually being made, and the game management issues, the roster management issues, the shitty play calling. It's all festered in. We're gonna ignore all that because they went 6-2 and they beat Duck Hodges. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
I want to say this, bro, and I want this to go down as history. If we get rid of Le'Veon Bell, he's going to go somewhere else and come right back to form. And it'll prove that our organization is exactly what it is, man. And when you ask a Jet fan, who's your favorite running back? 85% of Jet fans say Curtis Martin, right?
Yep.
85 says that. Well, you have a fucking Curtis Martin on your team right now. You have one on your team right now. You have the same kind of player. You have a player that emulated his style after this man. So you're telling me that Bill Parcells couldn't figure out how to use Le'Veon Bell? Listen, hold on, bro. Rex Ryan couldn't figure out how to use Le'Veon Bell. I'm going to tell you what right here, Tyson. This is what I want from the Jets. Give me a Sanchez. Let Greg Williams be Rex Ryan, and let Adam Gase be Stottenheimer. Give me that right now.
Stottenheimer?
Listen, I'm calling it right now, man. If they do that, emulate that right there.
No, dude, I don't want that. That means you're completely no, dude. What I want, I'll tell you what I want. Then, since we're sharing what we want right now, is offensive line play to be good, and then just run the ball behind Becton. Run the ball and make it a threat enough where Sam Darnold has play action pass, or you can catch the defense off balance where they're not sitting there waiting for the pass. Like Adam Gase's pass happy offense is not ideal. So to me, it's like, listen, you got to establish your running game, and then you could, dude, it opens up so many things. Then you could spread out Bell to the outside. You could throw him the ball. You could do dude, get this. You may actually confuse somebody. And like you said, we saw doses of it. You saw the first 15 plays at the beginning of the game, the first 8 or 9 plays in the second half. There was times where you saw it, but then he'd use the same friggin' end around for Vincent Smith. You're like, come on, man. But it's like Adam Gase has got to coach a game for 4 quarters, and then when the game is on the line, like right now, I'd love to know what Jeff fans think. It's say there's 2 minutes left in the game. You're on the road, and you need a field goal to win the game. Do you have faith in Adam Gase to drive this offense down the field with his play calling? Do you?
I don't, but I have faith in the players that we have. Let me explain something to
you.
I have faith
in Sam. I have more faith in Sam than I do in Adam Gase.
I'm gonna tell you this right here. Le'Veon Bell's gonna have more yards this year. He's gonna have a better year because we have offensive linemen who are not gonna miss assignments. We're actually gonna be able to block somebody. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm telling you, but Tyson, you have to wow, bro. Next time I see that, I'm just gonna share it so you'll be able to see it, bro. I'm telling you, man, it just showed these guys missing block after block after block.
But dude, I understood. Dude, Tyrone, how many Tuesday nights did we lose our shit talking about how bad the offensive line was? And to me, what I never understood, it was like, dude, it wasn't. They weren't being manhandled. They were being out coached. And the fact that the offensive line coach kept his job is mind-blowing to me. He should have been fired last year during the season. And then they take and this is you know what? Well, fuck it. Let's just say this, dude. They had the worst goddamn offense in football, and they made no changes to the coaching staff. How is that humanly possible? Even listen, Adam Gase likes scapegoats. The only scapegoats they have are, there were too many injuries, and sometimes Sam didn't do what he had to do, and this and that. No. Your offensive line was horrendous. And yes, you had some injuries, but the basic fundamentals of blocking they weren't even doing. Guys were coming in clean on both sides of the ball. I mean, on both ends of the ball. It's like, dude, both ends. Like, all right, so then it's like, all right, let's adjust and put 2 backs in the backfield. Let's go jumbo package. Shit, go I formation. I don't give a rat's ass. Something. Go sign a fullback. Sign anything. They did nothing, dude. They let Sam run for his life, and they get the same old shit coming up. And then when Beachum came back, like, I'll play a little better. No, it wasn't him. It was just, dude, I'll never understand it. And if this happens again this year, and my biggest concern, I'll say it all year long, is getting 4 guys to gel. If they have 4 new starters, getting the gel as fast when they didn't do it last year. Like last year in the offseason, dude, week 1, they didn't play together until week 1 of the season, which is a disaster. They didn't evaluate the guys right because Jonathan Harrison was a better player than Ryan Khalil. They didn't evaluate them right. We'll ignore that because I guess we can't talk about that. We'll just ignore that.
Khalil sucks.
And they continue to play one, which is ridiculous. But dude, all these problems with the offensive line, this all has to be addressed this offseason. Like they all have to play together, practice together. Your communication's got to be a shitload better. Your scheme has got to be better. And if it's not working, make changes immediately so you do not hurt your franchise quarterback. Because Tyrone, you can't go year in and year out. You can't have another year of him taking 40-something sacks, getting his ass beat, and seeing ghosts. Because you know what's going to happen to him? He's going to go backwards.
Well, I'll say this right here, Tyson. I think the line will gel together because we have proven veterans that played at a high level in different places. That's the one thing I do like
high
about
level.
it.
Who the hell played the high level other than McGovern?
I mean, McGovern, Van Rotten, He played with
Well,
Carolina.
now Van Rotten played at a high level. I'd say he's decent.
Hey, listen. Hold on.
How much Kool-Aid you have, man?
What
the hell you been drinking down there? What the hell?
Listen.
This is some shit.
Compared to what we had last year, he's got some Pro Bowls, man. Go ahead with that, man. You already know what that is. So
no, that's
it's
true.
going to be better
I'll give
play.
you that.
It's going to be better play. I think these guys will be okay. I'm watching Beck and these kids working out every day. I mean, these kids want it, man, and they're going to bring that nasty kind of attitude. I like that, man. I mean, I like that kind of edge. But like I said, you've been saying all night long, it's about coaching. And I hope that with this time off, that he really understands that this is his job, this is his career, this is it right here, bro. If you don't find a way to win with the team we have now, and I'm so sick of people saying that we don't have a good football team, we are way better than we were last year. We are way better than we were last year, and I don't.
Because
of
the offensive line. I mean, I think way better. I mean, listen, and I think Cameron Clark could be an interesting player too. He's an interesting guy at offensive line, but I think offensive line depth, the potential of the offensive line should be better than last year. But how are you saying we're way better at wide receiver? If Perryman, I guess you could say Mims, because Perryman and Anderson are washed. I guess Mims is the difference. I mean, and running back is Gore is. So you added Gore and Perrine over Montgomery and Powell. I mean, it's not. What's the hell is it?
Okay.
Where's your major?
I'll say this. I said Mims is better. I said getting Herndon and Griffin back. That's the
Herndon. I'll give you Herndon.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I'll say, listen, I'm not looking for Mims to be great. I'm looking for Mims to be consistent and solid. If Mims comes in and plays like, gives them a quarter of what Metcalf gave Seattle last year, I'll be happy with that. I mean, this is the whole point of it, Tyson. Who was our number 2 receiver last year, Tyson? And take Crowder out of the equation. Actually, Crowder was our number 1 last year. So Robbie was our number 2?
He was. Yep.
Okay, so if Perriman and Robbie are a lot, who was our number 3 receiver last year? Thomas?
Demaryius Thomas, our go-to guy.
Exactly.
Christ.
So therefore, if Mims gives us the same production that Thomas gave us, you know what I'm saying, and Sam plays better as a quarterback and has more time, Le'Veon runs the ball better. That's the key thing right here, man. Listen, I think offensive line, running the football, and Sam. I think everything else factors in. You know what I'm saying? Everything else is going to be the key point right there. I'm not concerned with our defense. I think our defense will be what they were and will be what they is. They're going to be solid. A top 10 defense. I think offensively, honestly, I think Sam takes a leap to at least be a top 15 quarterback. If he does that, you know what I'm saying, and we run the football consistently, we'll win. And I think that there's no team on our schedule that I'm sitting there like, other than Kansas City, I'm like, we're going to get our ass kicked. Man, and maybe Seattle. But if the fans aren't in Seattle, hey, bro, give us a shot. You feel me? But,
and Kansas City.
Bro. Yeah, no, that's what I said, Kansas City. Those are the 2 teams that I'm scared of. Other than that, I'm not scared of San Francisco coming to an East Coast game at 1 o'clock. Nah, bro, I'm not scared of them, bro.
Oh, see, that game makes me – but see, this is – the first 2 games make me nervous just because of all the changes the Jets made on their team, like the offensive overhaul, the line, the players. Like in Buffalo, like I said, if there's no fans, going to Buffalo won't be as bad. But their defense is going to get after it, dude. And that offensive line will be tested right off the bat. And it's like then you face the 49ers front, dude. You got to hope the hotel because they're going to test every facet of this offensive line, saying, are they prepared? Can they handle it? Becton will get every ounce of his rookie test. So those games would make you a little bit nervous. But then it's like, all right, can our defense hold their own and keep us in the game? If you're not really worried about. I mean, Josh Allen's a great running quarterback. He's got a lot to prove. They have more weapons though with Diggs and those guys. Jimmy Garoppolo. They got a lot of. They have talent. But our defense, it's interesting, man. Like I wish I felt better about the way Gase can get this all going and have more faith in his ability to develop as fast as possible to get this team clicking, by week 1. But I don't know, man. It's
well, Tyson, let me ask you a question. So what I want to know, and everybody from Let's Talk Jets want to know, what's your real assessment of Sam Darnold right now? What do you?
I love Sam.
Actually, at this point of his career right now, do you see Sam being a franchise quarterback?
Absolutely. These fucking articles questioning him and his ability are out of their goddamn minds. You could not ask for a worse scenario to start a young career. I mean, you got a coaching change, you got a shitty offensive line, you got mono, you got injuries, getting the hell beat out of him, a revolving door. You look at the way Sam Darnold's being groomed right now, and look at Josh Allen's being groomed right now. The environment Josh Allen is 10 times better. Look at the environment for Lamar Jackson. Baker Mayfield, for Christ.
Okay.
Baker Mayfield, but it's not about popular take. But look at Kyler Murray, dude. Look at all these young quarterbacks and how they're trying to flourish, and compare their environment to what Sam is. And Sam is still trying to find a way to win games. He's still making some big time throws. The kid has all the talent in the world. He's so friggin' young. We got to surround him with the right coach, the right offense, the right players. And that question still remains: are we doing that?
I'm gonna ask you 3 questions then. Number 1. If you had I want just straight answers. Hey, bros, get it, baby. Question 1: out of all the young quarterbacks you just named, who is the best? Give me your top 3 quarterbacks out of the young quarterbacks in the league right now, excluding Patrick Mahomes.
I'll say Mahomes is an easy one. Well, my unpopular. I'm a Lamar Jackson fan, dude. I liked him coming out of college. I liked Mayfield. I like Lamar Jackson. I like both of them. So I'm not gonna lie. I have Sam Darnold ahead of Josh Allen. I think he's a much better passer. If Josh Allen ever fine tunes his throwing arm and becomes more accurate, he's a pretty good player, man. Kyler Murray he's a hell of a quarterback too. Man, that's a good question. That's a really good question. Because I'm biased, man. Because I really, really like Sam. I really like Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar Jackson can't continue to play the way he's playing now for 5-6 years with all the running. He's going to have to become a more proven passer, which he's working on. If he can do that, he'll be a good player. But I still think if you're saying in terms of like a long-term career, I think Sam played a better career than Lamar Jackson over like a 15-year career. Mayfield, I probably would take Sam over Mayfield too, to be honest with you.
I agree.
I mean, it's tough. I just don't think I'm trying to think of it this way. If you give Sam Darnold, Beckham, Jarvis Landry, all these guys, the sky would be the limit for him.
Exactly.
Or if you give him like what Kyler Murray has, if you give like Sam Darnold like Kyler Murray supporting cast, especially now when he's got friggin' it's like it's not apples to apples, it's apples and oranges just based on what they have around them.
If you put Sam Darnold in Buffalo plays for Super Bowl last year.
Yep.
You feel me?
I would say that. Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So this is what I'm saying, bro. So listen, look how vastly improved Buffalo was just by bringing guys in on the offensive line. Their whole team changed just by that one factor. With a quarterback who's inaccurate, you know what I'm saying? With not a strong receiving core. Because when they signed the guy they signed for Buffalo last year, I was like, yeah, the receivers suck. But what happened was they had the right balance of running the football and have him do the stuff.
They established their identity. Yep.
Exactly. That's what we have to do. That's why I think improving the offensive line is going to be so much of a bigger jump than people are going to really expect, and we can really transport. You know what I'm saying? To that level. And then one more thing. Oh, the next question, Tyson. Do you see Sam Darnold in the next 5 years? No, I'm gonna say. You know what? I'm gonna give it 10. I'm not even say 5. I'm gonna say 10. Bringing the Super Bowl to the Jets. Honestly.
10 years? That's a good question. I mean, in theory, he has the ability to do. I think he could be a high-level quarterback, dude. I think he could be a top 10 quarterback if the Jets can get their shit together. Does that equate to a Super Bowl? They need. I'm gonna get shredded after this show. They need a coach that can win a Super Bowl with them. Like Sam can't do it all by himself, dude. Like you look at Patrick Mahomes, who is ridiculously good. Andy Reid's a hell of a fucking coach, man. Like they put an offense around Patrick Mahomes that maximizes his potential. Then Andy Reid hires a defensive coach that he likes. Like their schemes have to work. You have to make those moves, those little moves. Like Bill Parcells always says it, man. He's like, there are 2 or 3 plays every game that defines a win or loss. All these snaps we talk about, what 100 snaps a game, whatever it is. He's like, there's 2 or 3 plays a game that defines your win, and that's what is Adam Gase, that guy. That's I think Sam can be a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Absolutely, he's got all the talent in the world, dude. And people that are discounting him or discrediting him they're just haters because the kid has it. He has it all, but we got to bring it out of him. And can this coach do that? I'm not sure, but he could be a top 10 quarterback. It's just what else are we giving him?
All right. Question number 3. Do you believe in Joe Douglas?
Definitely sweating. No.
Do you believe in Joe Douglas? And hold on. It's a 2-part question. Do you believe in Joe Douglas And how do you feel about the moves he has made since this off season in the draft, everything included? You don't have to go into the draft, but just your true assessment of Joe Douglas and what he's accomplished thus far.
I think Joe Douglas. This is basically his first year. Last year was a wash. He didn't really. He had to just he picked up a mess and had to try to decipher all of it. The way he handled the draft, I thought was impressive. I mean, he gave us a blueprint of the guys he wants. Man, they're going to be hardworking, high character captains, football first guys. It all made sense. I didn't like the quarterback pick, but he navigated the draft very well. He traded back. He traded with the Patriots. Like he's a pro's pro when it comes to drafting. Will these guys play out? We have no idea, but we know what kind of player he was, what kind of players he drafts. With McCagnon, we had no idea. So that I give him credit for. The way he handled free agency, I mean, he took like a more pragmatic approach where he improved the depth on the offensive line. You know, he kind of, like, I keep saying he bargained basement shop with certain positions. I still think he did, but he also got great value, dude. Like, I had price tags on Jordan Jenkins and Brian Poole that were way out of this world. He got them at like cheap prices. Like, he made signings that I was completely wrong about, where I thought the price tags would be enormous. So, but to me, right now, I think Joe Douglas, I mean, he's doing pretty well. We'll know a year from now when we see how these guys will play out. But to me, he'll be defined by the Jamal Adams thing. This Jamal Adams contract saga is going to get ugly by mid-July. How does Joe Douglas handle it? That's going to be his first test in New York, dude. That's his first test because you know what? A part of his fan base is like, fuck Jamal Adams, just trade him. Nobody cares. The other fan base is like, he's like me. I honestly believe he's our best player. You got to keep him. If he becomes a holdout and ugly, how does Joe Douglas handle it? Do the Jets cave in? Does the Jets ownership overpower him and they get involved? Like, that to me is going to talk a lot about where Joe Douglas is as this general manager.
Well, I'm going to say this.
And can he fire his head coach?
I want to make one point when it comes to Joe Douglas, and I'm going to say this. I don't know what his true. I don't know what he's going to bring for us in the future, but I will say that I really approve of what he did this offseason, and I'm going to tell you why. Because if he attacks a certain, we knew from the beginning that you cannot fix all our needs in one offseason. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just going back to, over time, we needed 4 offensive linemen. It's unheard of. You know what I'm saying? He almost completed that. So if each year he attacks a certain area of the team and get better, I'm fine with that. He'll have $130 million this year in free agency money. So he could definitely make this team better real quick. And I like the way he negotiated. I like what he's done. I like his direction, man. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I think he's the most competent GM we've had in a really long time. I think Tannenbaum was probably one of my favorite GMs.
The only dispute I have with that is that listen, right now we're at a time of year where everything looks good and we're justifying everything. This is the time of year where, this time last year we were talking, or not this time, but I justified Ryan Khalil calling it a great move. So we're at that time of the football season where everything is positive. But Joe Douglas also was kind of handcuffed a little bit with the amount of money he had to spend. Next year would be a different test because with $125 million, he could give out that contract where we're like, what the hell is that shit? You know what I mean? Like, he had to be a little bit more frugal this year because he didn't have as many resources and he had a shitload of holes and he had to try to fix. Next year could be different, man. You may see a different Joe Douglas because he's going to have a lot more money and the same kind of holes because of all these one-year contracts.
But at the same time, you're looking like this. Okay, listen. When McCagnon first came in, right? And McCagnon won
Executive of the Year, by the way.
Exactly. Everybody went, I screamed it. Everybody went nuts.
I bought him a Dunkin' Donuts gift card.
Now, but check this out, though. Look how fast it turned. And what it was is what we were missing the bigger picture. What he did was, that first year is when he brought in Brandon Marshall and Decker, and we had, Fitzmagic, and it just was something that, that we really should have made the playoffs, and we didn't, but I'm not going to speak in that Buffalo game. But what I want to say to you is this. But then watch what he did after that. And that's what I'm saying about Douglas. I don't see him making those kind of mental mistakes when you draft.
Your best bailout is your draft. The best way to offset a bad free agency is drafting well. Because you're drafting, like, just say, for example, if they don't want to re-sign Marcus May, you already have a replacement in Ashton Davis. If they don't want to bring back, say, Pierre Desir, you have a guy in Bryce Hall. Like, if you have solid drafts where you get 3 or 4 guys that can be starters a year from now. The free agents that you get these big contracts for, you don't have to keep them. Like you can. That's
absolutely.
Cagnon was so bad that you were getting shitty free agents. So it's like it was a comedy of just horror. But this is Joe Douglas. We gotta hope that even like if you can get Cameron Clark, and was it a later round, 5th round, whatever the hell it was, 6th round, dude, you get guys like that. That is, what was it 4th round? What was it?
4th round. Yeah. You had 2 in the 4th. Yeah, he was in the 4th round. Yeah, he was in the 4th round.
But like you get guys like that, you get all those contributors, and it's like then when if you don't want to pay a Greg Van Roten next year, whoever it is, and you have guys that can step in, that's how you make your money. And then you instead of worrying about
team.
Exactly, and then you don't have to worry about spending money on fringe free agents. You can go after the big guy because that's going to be your game breaking guy, get you over the top. But we haven't been able to do that, and that's good.
They let Lockman Edwards go, right? The punter, right?
Yep.
And honestly, he hasn't been great, but he's been serviceable, right? They let him go because he wanted for me. No, but he wasn't. Listen, compared to what we had before. Listen, the 4 years he's been here, I'm not complaining.
He was good for one shank a game, dude. You knew it was coming too. Like, he's due for one. But, like the little 20-yard stud.
But overall, he was okay, right? So you let him go because they don't want to pay him $4 million. So what did Joe Douglas go do? He gets the best punter in the draft. You feel me?
You know what he should have did? He should have drafted a kicker then, because our 2 kickers we have now both suck.
Now, this is where I have an issue at with that. I agree with you on that. Like not bringing in a solid kicker, I don't get that. But him grabbing a punter we're gonna have for 3 years for $2.1 million. I mean, it's a smart move. I mean, bringing in a kicker, I definitely think it needs competition because last year I think that it just struggled, man. I mean, we just struggled with a kicker, and it's like everyone bashed him for that. Like, bro, why don't you get a kicker in here? But like I said, man, I like some of the moves he made, man. I also like that the undrafted free agents. I really like some of these guys that we drafted. So if not making a squad, we're going to have a dope-ass practice squad. And it's also people are now looking at, there's going to be a lot of veterans that get cut that can help this team. And I think that, but the one thing I will say, he didn't fill every hole, but he filled the majority of the holes. We don't have gaping needs in certain areas. Our depth is definitely better offensive line, linebacker, cornerback. You know what I'm saying? Our depth is there. He picked up the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So now we have a veteran presence as quarterback. Flacco. So the moves he's made, man, are really how you build a team, and it shows that he learned from Ozzie. He learned in Philly. He learned what good GMs do and how they do it. You have to be patient. And the problem with it is we're so accustomed to losing. We're so accustomed to not having, everything. And then, what kills me with Jets fans, and I love our fans, man, because we were the most passionate in the business. But the one thing that we didn't factor in is Isaac and McCagnon set us back 5 years, man. We have had 4 years of shitty ass drafts, if not 5, man. I mean, that's not a winning culture. But I'll tell you something else. Belichick has had 4 or 5 shitty drafts, but no one talks about Belichick's draft. Belichick can draft somebody in the 3rd round and cut him next year. Won't nobody say a word because he wins. So at the end of the day, I think Belichick has sucked at drafting for the last couple of years.
But how many diamonds in a rough does he find? He coaches them up and makes them players, and they go somewhere else with a big contract and they suck.
That's why you would go by reiterates the point that you made earlier. This is when you have a good coach. It's coaching players up. You think an average player, you make him better? This is what you do. This is what has to be done with our team. Now, offensively, I don't know. And don't get me wrong, man, I think Gase is, like I said, with his scripted plays, man, I'm telling you, probably the best in the business. But what bothers me is you have so much offensive. You have Jim Bob Cooter. You have a lot of guys that can really help you. You know what I'm saying? Figure out what's going on with this offense. And I think that he tries to overdo things instead of keeping it simple.
Yeah, but see, this is what I'm real curious about, like how the power structure is in the New York Jets. Because talking about Joe Douglas, listen, we gave him a lot of credit for things, some questions on things, and he's got a lot to prove, man. Like like I said, in year 2 of McCagnon, we were all like, oh, executive of the year, this guy's great, everything's great, until you see how all the drafts play out. So we won't know what this draft class is for a couple of years. So that's, it remains to be seen. But then it's like, where does he stand in the power structure when, say, like last year, this team was under crazy amount of pressure with Gase. They wanted him fired halfway through the season. I did. I thought he should have been fired because this team was a mess. But then they kept him. Now they're coming back this year. How much say does Joe Douglas truly have? And there's for two situations. I mentioned one of them earlier. And this is a question for you. It's, my biggest concern always with the Jets is ownership. It's no secret. I don't believe in them. I don't trust them. I think they're full of shit and they're terrible. But they tend to react to certain things. Now, the Jamal Adams situation is going to get ugly in my opinion. They're not going to get him signed by training camp. He's going to be a pain in the ass. Does Chris Johnson and Woody Johnson say, listen, Joe Douglas, we know your stance is going to be tough. Don't pay him. We want to pay him. Do they overpower him? How much power does Joe Douglas truly have in this? And the answer everybody always gives me is, well, he got a 6-year contract. He got the players he wanted. He got the coaches he want, or the executives he wanted to hire, and all this stuff. Okay, that's fine. He got what he wanted, but he reports somebody. So how much power do you think Joe Douglas really has? Can he tell ownership, no, I ain't doing that? Can he tell Adam Gase, listen, you got to do this or you're fired? Does he have that kind of power?
I think he does. I mean, the one thing you have to remember about Joe Douglas is he was really smart to his contract. He has a 6-year contract. He's here for at least 4 years. At least 4 years. So, I mean, we're still paying McCagney. So, we might be still paying Isaac. You know what I mean? So, he's here for at least 4 years. So, I think that in these 4 years, he'll have a chance to build the way he wants to. That's why I don't think he really cares. I think he does have the final say so. I think that the problem with ownership is they've been in the way. I think ownership, the way they handled with Gase was absolutely, the reason why we're not a good football team or not a good organization. But I think that what Joe Douglas has actually done is give us stability in that department. I think just his track record and his pedigree speaks volumes. Man. I think exactly he's respected around the league. And I think that for the first time in a long time, we haven't had something like that, and that's what we needed. So having a guy come in like that actually does that, that's learned from some of the best in the business, this is what we have to do. And see, what people don't understand about Jamal, and I'm not changing, so I'm just going to jump around for a little bit. What I want to say is this. People don't understand about Jamal. The biggest issue we've had is recognition. The biggest thing that killed me was, man, we won the off season, or we signed the biggest free agent, and we still suck. You know what I'm saying? So having a guy like Jamal who's respected around the league, who's loved around the league, and every chance he gets, he's repping the Jets. You know what I'm saying? He's walking in, he's the prez, baby. That's him. You know what I'm saying? But who you put? I put for the Jets, baby. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man. You know how much history, or do you know what Jamal and Sam Darnold will go down in history, and Le'Veon as well, or
but Tyrone, your point earlier says you wouldn't pay him this year.
Who? I wouldn't pay. No, I wouldn't. You don't have to pay him this year. He's going to be there. And listen. The one thing Jamal wants to do more than anything is what? He wants to win. Listen, he wants his money now. To me, he knows he's going to get his money, bro. But, technically, bro, they don't have to give him a contract this year. And I don't know if I would give it to him right now. We need other glaring needs. But I would talk to him. I would explain to him, listen, baby, you're getting the contract you want, man. I got you. No problem. That's my word. While I'm here, that's my word. You're going to get your money. But let me give you something else you want, baby. Let me show you. Let's win. Let's win. Listen, man, these guys mess around and bring a championship to the Jets? Bro, going down to history.
You're making a really good point here, and just I want to clarify my point too. I like what Joe Douglas is doing. I like the front office. I have questions about his power and if Jets ownership gets involved and does anything. But you're making a really good point where I think the players all respect Joe Douglas. I think they see the direction he's going. He probably talks to them. To me, again, and call me a hater, and I really don't give a shit, is does Jamal Adams like Adam Gase? What is their relationship? And that's the problem that we have. And it's like Bill Belichick could be a prick, but you know what? Bill Belichick fucking wins, dude. You could be the biggest asshole in the room, but if I'm gonna be winning in New York and living like a rock star, I will tolerate you being an asshole. If you treat me like shit and we're losing, I'm getting booed week in and week out, on the field, off the field, and everything else. If I'm going to a Knick game, I'm getting harassed because my team sucks. Everything changes, dude. And that's what I wonder about with a lot of these guys. Jamal could be like, listen, man, I want my money because I got to do all this bullshit. You know what I mean? Can you blame him? It's interesting, man.
But also, man, I'm just telling you, man, I think that, I mean, I don't think he has to have a great relationship with Gase. I think as long as he has a great relationship with Greg Williams, we know these guys love Greg Williams. We know these guys love what he brings and the way he talks.
But when was the
and the way
last
he
time?
treats these guys like
The Gase can never answer questions at a press conference, though. Like, Gase has scapegoats, and he's like that arrogant, smug guy. Like, he leaves guys to dry. The whole thing when Jamal was in trade or not, and Gase played all those media games, too. Like, that shit rubs people the wrong way, man. Like, we all know Jamal's an emotional dude. He's an emotional dude, but like I read a lot of books on, like, professional coaches, like successful coaches, like the autobiographies of Vince Parcells, all of them, dude. It's like they all say the same thing. You've got to cater your personality to the players in your team. You can't treat, Lawrence Taylor and Phil Simms the same way. You can't treat Curtis Martin and Brian Cox the same way. You got to adjust. You got to know what buttons to push to get the most out of your players. Can Adam Gase do that? Last year he rubbed people the wrong way. You could tell. Like, you could tell he did. So he divided
the locker room, and that's not good coaching. But that's why. See, Tyson, I think that will make a growth. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I think even if we make a sizable growth, other than a deep playoff run, I still think he gets fired. I think that I think Joe Douglas. No, I mean, I'm serious, but I think Joe Douglas truly understands that, it's not.
They make a playoff run, dude. If they make a playoff run, the whole fucking fan base can be eating crow because we've all written Adam Gase off like about 6 months ago.
But listen, though, it's not personal; it's business. If you've made a playoff run and you divide the locker room, or you've messed the whole culture up that he's trying to build, I think he gets replaced. I think that it's him. This guy, I think he's an introvert, bro. He's one of those guys that, he's just one of those. He's a really, I don't even know. He might be a narcissist. I mean, he's one of those kind of people. He's just a really smug, arrogant guy who hasn't won shit. You know what I'm saying? If you won some games, bro, you can be cocky as you want to. You haven't won it.
That's my point. Yep, that's my point, dude. Like the shit he does, dude. He doesn't have this resume of like. And like you see how other coaches like I try to like learn about different coaches. Like you look at Brian Flores, the Miami Dolphins, how he earns the respect of his players as he climbs the ladder. Sean McDermott as he climbed the ladder. All of these young coaches on the rise. Sean McVay, all of them how they earn their stripes. Kyle Shanahan, there's a ton of them, dude. Even Frank Reich with the Colts, who the Jets should have hired when he fucking interviewed him. But
yes,
you
sir.
look at how they earn their stripes, how they handle the players, how they do things. It's like. Being a coach is one thing. I agree. X's and O's. Managing your locker room is another thing. Managing the media is a vital part, especially in New York. Because if you say something stupid or smug, they go right to the player and ask him about it, and that causes problems. So there's a lot of things that, if I had just words of advice to Adam Gase, I'd be like, listen, dude, you've got to completely change your approach to the media and just the way you present things. Because you know what? If he was a personal guy, listen, I gave Todd Bowles the benefit of the doubt for half the things. I'm like, dude, he's a hardworking coach. He's respectful, and the players all like him. Like he got some wiggle room because of that. You buy that stuff especially with the fans and media. If you're an asshole from day one and you're losing and you're smug and you make up stupid excuses, dude, your gray area is gone. It's either put up or shut up. And in the first year, he choked.
But Tyson, hey, listen, the one image I have in my mind right now is we were getting our ass kicked by somebody, and his dumb ass was sitting on the bench, holding a little clipboard by himself, just looking lost, man. That right there shows you the difference between a good coach and a bad coach. But at the same time, hopefully, man, he figured it out. I think what the owner loved about it, well, he's the first guy here, he's the last one to leave. Maybe he don't want to go home. I mean, maybe just because the guy's here all day, or it doesn't mean the team's not getting any better.
You know what I ain't like though. And we're gonna get roasted for this fucking show. They're like, these guys for 2 hours, these two idiots. I really don't give a shit. Don't listen. I don't care. But the thing is, what bothers me the most. Yeah, I don't care. We're not experts. I'm a football fan. I don't care. But the thing is, it's like there were times last year where you thought they quit. Like when Sam got hurt, and then unfortunately Trevor Siemian got hurt. They weren't even competitive. The Luke Falk games, they didn't even try. But there was times where like they just mailed it in. Like you could tell, even his play calling. Like he would get frustrated his plays weren't working. Like he almost like it just gave up. It was like the weirdest shit. Then when look at certain teams, they looked awesome. It was the weirdest thing. It's just like you watch the way the Jets play football, And then you watch teams that like the Kansas City Chiefs, which is the best offensive football, or other even the Tennessee Titans, who did more with they established their identity and they did things. And it's like you watch these other teams like, why can't we play football like that? Didn't we hire the staff to give us that kind of football? And then it's like, well, there's too many injuries. Okay, too many injuries. Then this year, we have to have like a list of requirements for this team this year. Okay, if you don't make the playoffs, but you win 6 games, this offense better be top 15. Like something. Like we have to have some kind of parameters here.
I think what happened is this, man. I'm gonna be really honest with you. I just think that a lot of, like those games without Sam. I mean, I'm just being honest. I love this team. That shit was hard to watch. It was really, really hard to watch. It was really bad football. And I'm gonna tell you what really got to me, man. When I watched Le'Veon Bell walking off the field crying with C.J. Mosley holding him on his shoulder, bro, I think that point right there, I knew that I love this dude Bell, man. This is the kind of guy I want to go to war with, man. This is the kind of guy I want on my team. This is the kind of guy that I can always root for. If he left the Jets, I'm still rooting for Le'Veon Bell, just for the character he had. But these guys want to win, and I thought that having a winning environment is something that we were going to be able to build, and it was hard. Like I said, it was a very hard and disgruntled year having bad coaching and watching teams just beat us or that we should have competed with, But at the same time, I think that if we do what we're supposed to do as a team, and Sam has to grow, Sam has to be a leader because he doesn't have a choice now. You don't have a choice but to be a leader when you don't have a leader as your head coach. I think defensively we're fine. We have a real leader on the defense. I don't know who our offensive leader is, so I think what happens now is Sam becomes that leader. If Sam becomes that guy that look. You know what? Let me call the place. I'm gonna pick what works for me. I'm gonna get us in this, and we're gonna ride this. If he does that, and he's able to do that at 23 years old, sky's the limit. Like, look, man, you look at a guy like Patrick Mahomes. He has the Andy Reid. He has the Eric the Enemy, bro. Which I thought we should have hired someone like that. If you want to hire an offensive, hire somebody who's doing something different. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone got on Sean McVay, he's an innovator, or Kyle Shanahan has been kicking ass for decades, bro. This guy is an offensive genius, bro. That's the kind of guy you want. That's what we need, And I thought Gase was go ahead.
No, I agree with you, but especially where I think it'd be good could be competition, which is going to put more pressure on the time of possession, yardage, things like that. Where it's like, listen, this defense will keep you in games, but they're playing much better teams. Well, and they could be, there could be some disadvantage there. So it's offense to say, okay, listen, you're not going to be on the field 35 minutes a game, 40 minutes a game. We'll help you. We'll help the field, the field position. We'll help all these things, and that all comes like it all has to come together, man. It's like a big big Rubik's cube you got to kind of put together. And to me, it's like there's more pressure this year on the offense than ever before, because the defense will do their part, but it's going to, in order for this team to win 8 or 9 games, it's on the offense. Like the defense isn't winning 9 games this year. It's going to be Sam Darnold's got to play very well. Le'Veon Bell's going to have over 1,000 yards. You're going to have to get 900 yards from Crowder, probably. Like there's certain things you need to happen, or that's just what you have to. It's on the offense, man.
But you're telling me that you can't find a way to get to me. I think Le'Veon should have 1,500 all-purpose yards. That shit is easy. That was easy last year. That was coaching. This what shows you the lack of coaching. When you have a guy who is so stubborn and you want to prove a point and not lose Le'Veon or make him look bad or try to make, to put him in the way, that was so tasteless to me last year. Or to make your little smug-ass comments. When you have a player that will go to any – listen, you know why I knew Le'Veon was still the guy? When the Steelers wanted him back during the trade deadline. When the Steelers was like, yo, we'll take him. Because a good coach understands that. So, I think that if he figures out how to run the ball and how to give Sam some time and take the pressure off of him, we'll be better. But like I said, that's gonna be our outcome. That's gonna be what our season's gonna be when it comes down to it. So.
No, listen, I agree. We're gonna get roasted for this shit, man. They're gonna be like these guys spent an hour and a half ripping games and ripping finding problems with this team. But dude, to be honest with you, we get I did those fan series interviews, and we just talk about the history of being a fan, all this stuff, and then you always get the question is, what is your realistic expectation for the team? And almost every fan said they hope for 8 or 9 wins. They hope for that, but they all expect 6 or 7. And the common denominator was the unknown on offense. We don't know what to expect on offense, and they don't really have a lot of faith in Gase. They hope, listen, we all hope, dude. We hope that he's self-scouting right now, and he's figuring shit out, and he's talking to Sam and changing up plays and doing all this stuff. But we don't know, and in my heart, and most people's heart, they don't really believe in him. So he's got a lot to prove. And it's just the way it is. I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up everybody's ass and say, oh, this is it, man. This is our year. 11 wins, easy. 10 wins. I just, there's so much. And it's just, and it all falls on him. It's just a fact. I believe in Sam. I don't question Sam nowhere near as much as anybody else does. And it's the coach. He's got to prove it to us that he can do it. In a tight game, all these tight games where, the 3-point game, 4-point game, 5-point game, you got a touchdown to win the game. Can he put it all together and make Sam shine and win the game for us? Can he do it? But especially when it matters. Not when you're fucking 2-7 or 2-8, or you're playing a shitty Buffalo team in December when they don't care nothing to play for. Can you do it when the games matter?
Well, that to me is going to be the biggest question. Like I said, I think that, in my opinion, I hope that we have a really great season. But regardless, I still want to, the one year we were really, really bad, but we competed every game, and I appreciated that. That made me, I had a reason to be excited. But to watch my team go out there, like I said, man, it was really, really hard, bro. I don't never not watch a Jets game or get to the point where I don't want to watch a Jets game. I mean, it was some games last year, bro. I was like, yo, I can't do this shit, bro. It was killing me. It was killing me to watch that bad of football, and that's just incompetent, leadership. But at the same time, man, this is a different year. We have better players, and I don't know. It just feels right to me right now. It feels like we're in a position to, to really be good. And I'm gonna say the most important thing to me is this: we haven't had a franchise quarterback since Joe Namath. And I'm hoping Sam is that guy, man. That's all I can. As long as we have that, I think everything else will work itself out. I really do. And this kid is working, man. He's not out here enjoying his stuff. He's not out here trying to be seen or make noise. I read a comment. They were like, they don't even know if Sam has a cell phone. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's just amazing how this kid is just working, man, and wants to be better. And he's 23 years old, man. We have 7 years of him playing good football. But we have 11 or 12 years of him playing great competition football. What if he turns into be Aaron Rodgers? You know what I'm saying? Aaron Rodgers had shitty teams, bro. He didn't have solid teams when he won. He was the X factor. If Sam can become the X factor, that's what happens. I mean, you watch a lot of good teams that win, but they win by their quarterback outplaying the other quarterback, or outsmarting the defense, or making the right pass, or making the right read, or making the right call at the offensive line. You know what I'm saying? I think McGovern is going to play a big part on the offensive line. I think he has to make them calls for Sam. Exactly. Well, I think Becker's going to be trial and error. I think he's going to have to learn on the job. He's going to learn on the fly. And it's going to be hard because this kid is not going to get a chance to really work till his training camp. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be rapid fires. We're throwing them early. But at the same time, I think that the kid, with his size and his massive ability, his long arms, he's not going to get beat too much, or he's not going to get manhandle, but he's going to go up against players that go do stuff he hasn't seen before, man. Having a guy like a Von Miller coming off the edge, or playing against a team like Kansas City, who's a great defensive team, or playing against San Francisco, what's his name? Kid from Ohio State. Having to go out of him, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be playing against some really good players, but I think at the same time, consistency is good. But having these long drawn up, listen, Brady, the Patriots' offensive line sucked for years. Brady got rid of the football into his playmakers' hands. And, when you're having games like that, when they're getting that, Sam, get the ball out of his hands. Why you want to just, go for a 10-step drop and, wait a few seconds and throw them? It's just crazy. You can't do long plays like that when you don't have the time to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, definitely watch it when Nick Falk. I mean, I watched it. Not Nick Falk. What's his name?
Foles.
Foles. You know what I'm saying? I watched Nick Foles. You know what I'm saying? Well, when he came in from Philly, bro, he came in. They came to the office to watch him work.
Coaching.
That's a good coach.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's Doug Peterson, man. That's
exactly
it. That's exactly it.
No one would expect it. No one would expect that. When their quarterback went down, you thought the season was over. But a great coach made his team better, and he made the system work for the quarterback he had, and they won Super Bowl. Man, everything's possible. So I'm excited, bro. Because I'm still, regardless, I hope everybody don't think that we're just being negative. We're just giving our honest opinion as fans of how we feel. But a lot of this conversation is we got 80 years collectively as Jets fans of misery and fucking pain. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the thing
so
is,
it's just, listen,
but the thing is, and that's the weird thing about this is once this thing uploads, like, oh, you fucking guys, all you do is complain. It's not. Listen, if you're gonna ask me an honest question, I'm gonna give you an honest answer. But once training camp starts, I'm gonna be the most optimistic fucking dude in the world. Be like, listen, man, I hope this team wins. I hope Gase gets it figured out. I'm gonna be excited. I can't wait. I'll watch preseason games. Listen, dude, I'm tired of walking around with my shoulders down, demoralized, and it's like you're not proud to be a Jets fan. It's like, oh, they suck. I'm tired of being embarrassed. I'm tired of being demoralized. Listen, dude, I want nothing more than to go to the playoffs this year. We all want the same thing, Tyrone. I want to see Sam Darnold do great. You want to see, listen, if Gase is coach of the year, awesome. I will buy him dinner wherever he wants, and I'll celebrate it. But it's just it's like, I can't be that guy. I'm not a 5-year Jets, long-time Jets fan, and the shit we see is red flags. And if we don't point them, we're not being honest with ourselves. There's certain things that we saw we didn't like. We talk about it. Listen, I don't drink Kool-Aid, and I'm not going to tell you some bullshit. We keep it real. And when we're wrong, we're wrong. Like I said, last year I thought Ryan Cleveland was a good move. Fucking blew it up right in her face. It was a disaster.
Bro,
Tremaine, let's be real honest here. The Tremaine Johnson signing, a lot of people justified it. Even I did. Let's see, press corner,
I did
whatever.
Too, I did too. Everyone did, bro.
Everybody's like, oh, we knew he sucked. No. We all, at points, justify moves. Just like now, we're at the time of year where we're justifying everything Joe Douglas does. Everything, oh, this makes sense. This is good. And a year from now, it's like, oh, Craig Van, whatever it is, it could blow up in his face. So we're being honest right now. And if you don't like honesty, then don't listen to the fucking show. Because this is the way it is. If they play good, they credit. If they play like shit, they play like shit. We say it. But there's no punches pulled here. You know what I mean? This is the way it is.
And then on top of that, man, at the end of the day, I hope everyone understands, we're Jet fans first. So win, lose, or draw, we're still Jet fans.
I hate losing.
No one understands this more than a Jet fan knows how it is to lose, and how, especially if you've been a Jet fan for a while, you understand that, it's just hard. It's hard to watch a team, lose or consecutively lose, or constantly not put up a good product, or not, have questions, or you're not being able to fix that. So getting Sam right there for me, I'm on a 10-year rebuilding. I'm cool because we got Sam, and I'm happy with that because we haven't had a franchise quarterback that's so bad, man. I remember believing in Bryce Petty, believing in Gino, believing in Mark Sanchez. I actually had to force myself to believe in it, not believing what my eyes are showing me. You know what I'm saying? My eyes are showing me these guys suck.
I defended Gino endlessly.
As a fan. Bro, listen, when we got Gino in the second round, bro, I was like, oh, my God, bro, we got the steal of the draft. Let's go, baby, let's go.
Too.
And then it just showed. And this is what got me with the Gino thing. When Gino got his jaw broke, bro, I was like, bro, you can't make this up, bro.
Dude, don't go back that far. I'll never forget sitting in my car hearing about Sam got mono. I'm like, fucking mono?
Oh, bro.
I had to do a double take. Because you listen, I used to listen to every press conference. I try to, at work, I put my headphones on. I listen to everything. And it's 14 out, mono. I'm like, wait a minute, who's 14? I'm like, wait a minute, that's the quarterback. Wait, what? And dude, bro. And then I put my head down, and I just waited for my cell phone to start. Dude, my phone just started blowing up. And I'm like, why? Why do we got to deal with this shit? And then it was like, all right, we get through the mono thing. And then the ghost game. I could not have been more pissed off at the ghost game. I'm like, it's bad if we're getting our asses kicked. And now we got this shit too? And you just look at your cell phone, then you look at it, and you just wait for the text to come. It always with this team, I'm so tired of it. When is the positive shit going to happen?
But that's that's a life of a Jet fan. That's why I know when we turn it around and we get to the point where we're winning on a consecutive level, man, it's gonna be so sweet, bro. It'll make I don't know, it'll make all this worth it. But there's nobody who's gonna appreciate winning. Nobody's going to appreciate winning more than a Jet fan, bro. I told you. If the Jets win a Super Bowl, I'm at the parade, man. Butt-ass nigga and some Timbs, bro. In a Jets hat. I promise you. I don't care less, bro. I'm telling you. This is how I feel. Like,
dude, my boss knows. Everybody knows, dude. If the Jets win a Super Bowl, I'll be out drunk for a week. I won't even be. They don't even call me. Don't expect me to see me anywhere near work. It's at least a week, probably 2 weeks. And the weird thing is, too, because I'm talking to Fireman Ed about this. I'm like, dude, we will, like, the after game parties will be epic for like weeks, like the Canyon of Heroes. But to be honest with you, Tyrone, if they win a Super Bowl that following year, they can lose every fucking game. They can go 0-16. I wouldn't even care. I wouldn't even give a rat's ass. I wouldn't even care.
Bro, listen, they can lose for 2 or 3 years in a row. I wouldn't say a word, bro. Like, you know, the one thing people always bash Eli, right? I said, I don't care what you say about Eli. He's a Super Bowl champion, bro. He won 2 of them, bro.
That's it.
Like, he won 2 of them.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
He'd be my hero.
You know, bro, you think I wouldn't think being a Giant fan, bro? You think that if I was a Giant fan, I'd be pissed about anything? Oh man, we're losing, bro. You were able to watch your team win a Super Bowl. Like, I'm gonna tell you something. I know I said this on the show before. Two of my really, really close friends, or really one of my best friends. You know, he's a Kansas City fan, bro. And watching his team won. Bro, it just touched me, bro, and I was like, shit. One day, baby, one day I want to feel like this, man. I watched him, man, just enjoy, bro. Just enjoy every moment, sucking it in, bro. Just, you know, from the guys on the field and the interviews, and bro, just sitting there watching this big ass Kool-Aid smile on his face, bro. That shit was priceless, man. And I want to feel that, bro. I do. I don't care, bro. I don't care what bill don't get paid, bro. I will be somewhere in Jersey, in New York, bro. What my Jet fans just loving it, bro. And I don't want to go Super Bowl and lose. I want to go and win. You know what I'm saying? That's it. I want to win one in my lifetime, bro. I want to see it with my own 2 eyes. And
no, dude, I'm the same boat.
Years and not win.
I'm just ready. Like, I went to both championship games. I went to Indy. I went to Pittsburgh. Like, you just want one. Like, I just want one. Like, if I was a Giants fan, I'd have a shrine. I'd be like, this guy's my hero. Like, dude, it's just, you can imagine, like, I can't fathom it, dude.
It's crazy how these guys will sit down there and have an attitude about your team when you guys have won. Like, yo, I mean, I'm telling you, you think I wouldn't go for a Kansas City year? I ain't even lying. You think I wouldn't go for a San Francisco year, bro? You think I wouldn't take that and be happy? I mean, it's just the point of getting there, man. But see, like, you know, watching your team, you know what I'm saying? Listen. If anything we should shoot for, we shoot for a season like San Francisco. They went from worst to first, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yep. They went from worst to first. I mean, when they got Bosa, they were the number 1 pick in the draft. Was Bosa the number 1 pick in the draft?
He was 2, wasn't he?
Number 2. Number 2. Okay, they went from the number 2 pick in the draft to the Super Bowl, bro. You feel me? That's crazy, bro.
Listen, I understand. But that's the whole thing. It's like it's just like you want that feeling, man. Like, every year when the playoffs start, especially the last few years, I get so depressed. I'm like, why can't we be here? Like, look at all these fans so excited. They're wearing their shit, and when they're walking around, they're all like, you just miss it. Like, you miss, like, those years with Rex were so much fun. Like, even, like, I'll be honest, even that year with Todd Bowles when they blew it in Buffalo, even that was fun. It's like, wow, this is exciting football. We're in the hunt.
It was,
like,
bro. I mean, I got a Fist Magic shirt, bro. You know what I mean? I was feeling it, bro. Like, watching Brandon Marshall just unbeatable. So that next year we come back, we think, we're in the playoffs now, and then we fall off the wagon. So, you know, I mean, it's been what we used to. It's not consistency, but like I said, man, you know, and I defended Todd Bowles every way possible. You know, but I'll say this right here, like, you know, Chan Gailey, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I when we got Chan Gailey, I was excited because I knew he was a great offensive coordinator. The only problem with him is he doesn't run the football. You know, he's going to Miami. You know, Miami's going to have an electrifying offense, but they're not going to run the damn football. But you can't win. You can't win this league. If you watch every playoff team, man, look at Tennessee, bro. Their quarterback threw for 68 yards in the playoff game, and they won by 25. I mean, that just shows you what happens, what really wins this league. You know what I'm saying? If you're not able to run the football, they're going to be successful.
No, but it makes it interesting where when you have a involved in every facet of the team, or he hands the certain facets of the team over. You know, like, it's like Gase is all about the offense. Lets Greg Williams do whatever he wants. Coaches are more CEO-like, and they kind of oversee everything. They know what's going on. They can tinker things here and there. That's the other interesting thing too. It's no, he doesn't. That makes things interesting too as a head coach.
And one more thing we gotta discuss when we get off here, bro. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I want every Jet fan to know this, bro. I hate fucking Buffalo, bro. I'm just being real with you, man. I'm so sick of hearing about what Buffalo's gonna do, bro. Like, I'm just so sick of that shit, bro. Like, I'm tired of it. Like, all you hear is Buffalo, and they're the best team in the league.
Yeah, but they earned it, though.
Like,
dude, I'm just happy not talking about the Patriots anymore.
Shit.
Dude, they're a year ahead of us. They rebuilt the right way. We're chasing them. We're trying to do what they did.
But what also you got to factor in, bro, it's tape on what they did last year. It's tape on his weaknesses. It's tape on what they do, bro.
Yeah, but dude, listen, what did we just talk about? Listen, you could like Josh Allen or hate him. I respect him. I don't discount nobody. He's a young player. He could get a lot better. We have no idea. But they're giving him the tools. They're putting him in a position to succeed. For that, I give Buffalo credit. And I hate Buffalo, dude. One of my good friends is a Buffalo Bills fan. I get texts all the time from him talking shit to me about the team, and it drives me crazy. They're doing things. They're doing a lot of stuff, man. Like they're trying to get this quarterback. Get Stephon Diggs, man. I wish I had Diggs. You look at them and you're like, it drives you crazy sometimes. And listen, I don't like them. But I will say they're the best team in the division right now. And hey, to beat them. That's all.
Well, like I said, man, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be an amazing journey, bro. Like I said, we started off in Buffalo, and I'm looking forward to that. To me, it's kind of funny, man. Game 1 is a must-win. Yo, man.
No, it's not.
Game 1 is a must-win.
Stop it.
It has to be, Tyson. It has to be, bro. Listen, I'm not even being funny, man. Our first 5 games is a must-win, bro. If we go 0-7 again, bro, I don't know what I'm going to do, man. I'm serious, bro. Like, game 1's
not a must-win, dude. You got to split. You split the first 2, you're right. Come back and beat the 49ers. You can't do that must-win shit already.
Hey, bro, to me, it's a must-win. That's how I feel. I want to start off.
It would take a lot of pressure off the team, that's for sure.
Absolutely. But, like I said, if C.J. Mosley goes down, first game of the season this year, I want him to I want his money back from his contract, bro. I'm sorry.
We're going to stay positive, man. We're going to stay positive. That ain't going to happen. He's going to be back in to Pro Bowl form.
We're going to have a great season this year, bro. I really do.
We're going to get killed for this show.
I truly believe.
Do you know the backlash we're going to get for this shit, dude? We're going to get roasted.
Hey, man. Hey, listen, man. At the end of the day, man, it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yo.
Well, Tyrone, first of all, I want to thank you for this. I had a blast. It was, an hour and 40 minutes of us talking shit. So give out your information, man, so everybody can follow you, because I'm going to tweet you out too. But give out what's the best way everybody talk shit to you, because you're going to get a lot of feedback from this one.
All right, well, you can definitely hit me on Facebook as TIPEZY Johnson. You can find me at Tyrone Johnson on Twitter, and it's TIP_EZY91 on Instagram. So, if you feel free to definitely give me your up and most important reaction to this show, just letting you know I really don't give 2 shits. But, hey, listen, I'm just being honest.
You got to be strong, man. I tell you, it's not easy. The Twitter streets are rough. The YouTube streets are even worse, man. I get roasted like a son of a bitch. It's like, woof.
Hey, man, listen, this is Tyrone from Virginia, man. Listen, I want everybody to know this, though, man. Seriously, we love the Jets. And we're just, we're able to talk about our team in the way we see it. And until proven otherwise, it's how we view it. Everyone has their own opinion, and you're entitled to your own opinion. I'm not a coach. I'm not a scout. I'm not, I'm not a blog writer. I'm a simple-ass fan who loves this team, who wants to win. And if you can't understand that, I don't know what to tell you. But, it's JETS for life for me, bro. I love this shit. You know what I'm saying? Gang green, baby.
Tyrone, thank you very much, man. I will talk to you very soon. This was a lot of fun.
All right, bro. You know what it is, man. I'll talk to you soon, bro.
Later, dude. All right. As always, you can follow this show, Let's Talk Jets Radio, on YouTube, at Talk Jets Radio on Instagram and Twitter. Hope you guys had fun. Again, we're trying out different software here. Live shows are very difficult, and with the cell phone coverage as bad as it's been lately, we're trying to figure out different things to do. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you next time. I am Tyson Rauch, TRAUCH 21 on Twitter.